Hello everyone, Triple S here and welcome to Sakura Angels. I just finished recording the last video for Sakura Spirit like 5 minutes ago, and I'm going straight into Sakura Angels. So, start game. I do not know anything about this game at all. I don't know the characters, don't know the plot, I don't know anything. Every night, I have the same dream. Every night, I'm always brought back to this place without fail. And then every morning, I'll wake up with no memory of this place at all until the next time I fall asleep. But a single night has gone by without my consciousness being dragged into this abyss, I guess. This realm is devoid of light, so much so that I can't even see my hand in front of my face, no matter how desperately I wave it. For some reason I got hung up on desperately. The concept of sound is just as absent, my steps silent and my distressed cries swallowed by the bordering darkness as quickly as they had left my mouth. I am in a bleak, barren wasteland of nothingness. Spending any prolonged amount of time here begins to make me doubt even my own existence. Yet despite feeling suffocated by a striking absence of anything, I know I'm not alone. Something is watching me, stalking me from the shadows. I can't say for sure what it is, but every once in a while I'll catch sight of something from the corner of my view. A pair of burning bright eyes fixated purely on me. They hate me, despise me. There's an overwhelming sense of animosity radiating from whoever they belong to. I know they want nothing more than to lash out and attack me, but something is holding them back. A force they truly despise. Invisible chains that bind and restrict them from the one thing that is on their mind. At first, when I began dreaming about this place, the eyes were distant, like glimmering stars. But with each passing night, the eyes seemed to inch ever closer and shine ever brighter. I think whatever force had been holding them from me is beginning to fade. What will happen when these eyes reach me? I shudder to think. I know it's just a dream, so I shouldn't be afraid, but everything I experience here is so vivid. None of the usual murky haze that shrouds such dreamlike environments seems to exist here at all. I have perfect clarity. I can feel the stagnant, freezing air all around me, enough to incite a shiver out of me every once in a while. Since I'm so used to this dream, I know how it will end. I'll wade through the darkness for what seems like an eternity, never finding anything, until the morning finally comes and pulls me out of this nightmare. At least, that was how it usually ended. Something is different tonight. Those hateful, burning eyes that always kept just out of sight before, I'm suddenly confronted by them. Never before they've been so close. Never before have I stared straight back into them. Their narrowed, piercing gaze roots me to the spot and a shooting pain surges through me. I can't move. I can't breathe. And then, from out of the darkness, a quicker smile spreads just as sinister as the eyes. So close. I can practically taste their freedom. It won't be long now. Enjoy the peace where you can, boy, for your days are numbered. And then, everything shall change. Just watch that be like a really hot girl and I'm doing that voice for her. I'm awake. Do I need to click? I click. Ugh. My head is killing me. These morning migraines are the worst. Every morning without fail, I always wake up to a sensation not unlike my skull being pounded by a jackhammer. Thump, thump, thump. It's almost like a heartbeat. I feel like my head is going to split open. It's weird though, because even though the pain is so intense, it never lasts long. In the space it takes me to get up and head for school, the pain is usually reduced to just a dull throb at the back of my skull by then. So it isn't too much of a hassle in the grand scheme of things. But it certainly isn't a fun way to wake up. I just find it odd how consistent it seems to be. Anyway, enough pondering these weird mysteries. It's time to tackle the day. After a moment of wrestling with my blanket, I swing my legs around and drag myself out of bed. A quick look at my bedside clock tells me it's still early. Too early. If I had it my way, the world wouldn't start till at least a good way into the afternoon. But sadly, life just isn't that wonderful. Pulling back the curtains to let the light flood into my room, I suppressed the urge to let out a hiss. Instead I let out a burp, almost blinding myself in the process. Too bright. The rest of my time getting ready is spent fighting with my uniform, a tie becoming all the more problematic to put on when you're half asleep. Oh god, I think I've actually got my hand stuck in it. Almost choking myself to death in the most pathetic fight ever, I finished putting on the tie, the rest of my uniform complying peacefully with me. Unable to find a comb, I settled for just flattening my hair down with my hands. Blinking into the mirror, I'm left staring back at someone with messy black hair. It's close enough. Somewhat dressed and somewhat ready, I stumble out of my room, my legs still not fully awake. Uneven steps carry me dangerously down the stairs, and I soon emerge into the kitchen. I'm greeted by silence. The kitchen is empty. A familiar scene for me. My parents are what you might call workaholics. Basically, they spend more time at their respective jobs than they ever do here. I only ever get to catch them during the evening while we're eating, and then everyone is off to bed and the cycle repeats. Don't get me wrong, I understand that they have to work in order to keep us living comfortably, so I don't hate them for it. It just gets, I don't know, lonely? Ah well, there's no use moping about it. It's been like this for years, so I don't know why I was getting all emotional about it now. The plus side of them not being around is that I quickly had to learn how to cook for myself. It's amazing how fast you can adapt to that sort of stuff while you're starving. I don't think I have enough time for anything fancy to eat for breakfast, so I'll just settle for toast. You can never go wrong with toast. Okay, you might be able to go wrong with toast. I have sudden traumatic flashbacks to when the toaster erupted into flames. Ah, what a day that was. But I've learned from my mistakes now. It won't happen a third time. Having devoured the only slightly charred toast, I sling my bag over my shoulder before starting for the front door. I give the empty house one last look over before opening the front door. It's kind of depressing to have no one to say goodbye to. But again, this has been the same for every weekday morning since forever ago. The sun is shining high in a cloudless sky, birds are chirping overhead, waves of students are passing by, happily chatting with one another as they all make their way to school. It's all so horrible. I'm not much of a morning person, so I can't even begin to fathom how everyone could be so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed right now. I mean, it's taking all of my willpower just to be able to put a foot in front of the other without just crumpling to the ground. I just have to hope the breakfast kicks in and gives me the energy I need before I'm forced to literally drag myself through the school gates. ... There's always these blank parts that I think I don't realise that I need to click. While keeping my head down and my eyes glued to the ground as I soldiered on, I suddenly noticed that the vibrant atmosphere from before is gone. Silence has completely taken over. My steps the only thing making any noise. The air is still. Huh. That's a bit strange. Bringing my head up, I'm met with an unsettling sight. The street is deserted. No students, no cars, and even the cheerful chirping of the birds is gone. What? I hurry on forward, hoping to at least run into somebody. Anyone. Even the sun's once golden rays seem muted, the world's changing dreary tones. But there still isn't a cloud in the sky. Okay, it's definitely starting to freak me out. I need to just... A splitting pain shoots from my head, stopping me in my tracks. Like a searing poker being thrust through my skull. A headache? Now? Nothing is making any sense. Desperately trying to keep myself upright as I clutch a hand to my head, I stagger forwards. Unlike the headaches from before that gradually died down, this one only seems to be getting worse. Thump, thump, thump. It won't stop at all. I'm brought to my knees. I can hardly even think straight, my head threatening to explode at any moment. And then, through gritted teeth and a pained expression, I see it. Something that shouldn't exist, yet clearly does, as confirmed by my own terrified eyes. Oh! A monster! That made me shiver. That's the only word that can come to my scrambled mind. A hulking, grotesque mass of flesh with gnarled fangs and red-slitted eyes, seething with hate. The closest thing I can relate it to would be a dog, but no dog I know of is 3 times the size of me, its form practically eclipsing the sun. It snorts with flared nostrils, something like steam being exhaled out. Given its tense stance and the fact it's blocking my way, I can only assume it's here for me. But why? What the hell is it? Where did it come from? Why does it want me? 1,000,001 questions raised from my head, but I doubt I'm going to get any answers from this thing. There's only one thing I can do when presented with such odds, and that is to... Oh, we've already come across an option! God! Right. How's this gonna work? Oh, great. I don't know how this is going to work now. I don't know what each option could be. Right, so the only course of action that I think I should take right now is I might end off here. A really, really, really short episode, 10 minutes long, but it's like an opening thing, but I wasn't expected to be presented with options, at least this early, and I don't know exactly how much it's going to affect the story. It could affect it not at all. I don't know, but right. Actually, I think I might just pause and look up the options and see if anything really changes. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I am back, and I just looked up like a guide thing of like an options tree type thing showing you where each option leads to, and it's pretty much no real difference, but in this game there's a lot of options, and for me to do each one of them differently and show them all, it will take a long time. So I'm just going to play it through the way I think I would play it. Though there are like, I think there's like multiple endings, and I might show the multiple endings, at least. It's like, I think there's an option where you can like, you know, like before there's like, you know, you pick the fox spirits or the guard girls in Sakura Spirit. So I think there's like them. I'll show those three, I think there's 3 different endings. 3 or 4. I think it's 3, I don't know. But I'll just play it how I would want to play it, like now. Okay, so I would stand my ground. Of course. I don't know what the hell this thing is, or why it suddenly appeared before me, but I'm not going to let it take me down without a fight. Knowing the pain that threatens to consume my skull, I straighten myself up and stare right back into the hateful eyes of the beast. And then, tightening a fist, I lash out like lightning, my fist connecting with its head cleanly with a solid impact. Take this, foul beast. Wham! Da-da-da. Okay, no. Bad idea. That did nothing. In fact, it looks even angrier than it did before now. All I managed to do is bruise my own fist. I hope I haven't broken anything. I reel back from my brutal attack, giving the fist in question a good shake. It still stings. Ow! Now what do I do? My blazing surprise attack was met with complete indifference, and now I think it's too late to run, as the creature is gearing itself up for a charge, its front leg digging into the ground. This might have been a mistake. I try to turn tail and begin running, but the beast kicks off at the ground straight towards me. There's nothing else I can do. I brace myself as best I can for the inevitable bone-shattering impact. Right before the beast can connect with me and bring my life to a grisly end, a dazzling radiant light floods my vision, engulfing both me and the monster. The beast stops in its tracks, a guttural cry escaping it before it vaporizes before my eyes. Dot. What? What the hell just happened? Jeez, that was a close one. You alright? A cheerful voice chirps. A welcome sound after the terrors of that thing. Don't talk to him. We have to leave before. And then another voice that's less cheerful. In fact, they sound angry more than anything. The girls! The thumbnail! The light soon fades, revealing my saviours. Though, this is definitely the last thing I was expecting. 2 girls roughly my age stand before me. I blinked several times before I screwed my eyes, hoping things might make a little more sense. This can't be real. I'm having more trouble believing these girls are actually standing before me than I did the monster. Wielding weapons and costumes taken straight out of a fantasy book, it's all a bit much for my brain to attempt to process. What? What the heck was that? A shadow. The more cheerful of the 2 simply says that to me and stands relaxing some. Huh? Was I supposed to explain everything? I glance down at my feet where my own shadow stretches, but the girl bursts into a giggle. Not your own shadow, silly. That thing we just took care of, which you're welcome for by the way, is what we call a shadow. The physical manifestation of all the hatred and negative emotions that might lurk in one's heart. Normally, they're not so aggressive during the day, though it was really out for you. We're usually pretty good at nabbing them before they get to you, but this one completely took us by surprise. I'm happy we got here in time. You're not hurt, are you? No, I'm fine, but as if things were bad enough that we had to reveal ourselves to him, now you're just casually blabbing away things that no normal person should have a right to know. Have you lost your mind? I'm cut short by the more aggressive looking of the pair, whose expression had grown darker and darker to cheerful when it spoken, looking like she was unable to take it anymore. She exploded, causing both of us to jump. Oh, but it looks so confused. Now that you've seen one of the shadows firsthand, don't you think it's just a little too late for us to quietly slip back into the shadows? Dot dot dot. Her eyes narrow into a frightening glare. It's clear she isn't happy. But I don't think she has anything to counter that. See? You worry too much. We'll only tell him what he needs to know, nothing more, nothing less. The upbeat girl brings her attention back to me, a sparkle in her eye. Right, so, Kenta, where were we? Wait, how do you know my name? Huh? Oh, whoops. She puts her hand to her mouth as if to try and take back the words. The questions continue to pile up and still haven't gotten any answers. You idiot! Wow, the serious one wraps her fist against the other's head, who sticks her tongue out in a sort of tee-hee, my bad kind of way. So, you guys know me? Never seen them in my life. And given how they look, I definitely think I would have remembered them. Well, we don't know you personally, but we've been watching over you for a while now. You've become quite the point of interest recently, you know? Me? What the heck did I ever do to get so much attention? As far as I know, I'm just an average student, who lives an average life, doing average things. Though after this, I guess I can't really call my life average anymore. Can't really go into details because, you know, top secret and all, but let's just say it's not in our best interest for you to fall into the wrong hands. Pardon me. You wouldn't believe how much effort we've been putting into keeping you safe, you know? Actually, I'm kind of relieved we finally get to meet, so you can finally appreciate all our hard work. She beams at me, leaning in perhaps just a little bit too close. She's throwing so much at me I can hardly think straight. Who the heck are you guys? Huh. She falls deep into thought, her nose scrunching up. I guess she's choosing her words carefully as to avoid another brutal assault from her partner. Think of us as your guardian angels, okay? Saying that, she gives her bow a flourish and it shatters between her fingers. Moments later, the shattered pieces of the bow begin to gather behind her, the shards piecing back together rapidly until finally they form a pair of wings on her back. The wings, while not strictly attached to her, at least seem to function as they sway in the breeze and give off a glimmer every now and again. Wait, are they literally angels? Let me get this straight. To start from the beginning, that thing that attacked me, that monster, you call those shadows. Yep. And these shadows have supposedly been hunting for me for a while now. Because apparently if they catch me, it'll be bad, for unspecified reasons. Yep. Really bad. And you guys, whoever you are, have been combating them from the shadows to keep me safe from harm. She nods enthusiastically. Looks like I've just about got to grips on what this whole thing is, even it was a little sparse on the details. Knowing all this, it brings me to the conclusion that... I have no choice but to believe them. These girls have lost it. Let's believe them. I'm just thinking that there is actually one branch in these options that does actually change the game and will takes you down two separate paths significantly. So, I don't know. As crazy as this all sounds, I really can't deny the evidence before me. That monster was definitely real, and I have no reason to doubt these girls who destroyed that thing right before my eyes. Okay, so what happens now? I was phrasing that as if he was going to keep talking. He was saying, oh, I should believe them because they did this. He wasn't like, I should believe them, they did this, so whatever. Okay, so what happens now? Well, now that the shadows have gotten more aggressive, I really don't think we can go back to our old job of watching you from afar. We were lucky to just barely catch that thing just now, after all. Somehow I don't like the sound of that, or what it might imply. At all. So we'll be parting ways for now, but it's best to keep keeping an extremely close eye on you from now on, okay? Bye bye for now. She gives me a wink and a wave before taking off in the other direction. Her less enthused partner simply turns her head from me with one last before following after her. I'm soon left completely alone within the streets where just moments ago my entire world had been spun on its head. Did all that just happen? Oh geez, all this will have to wait for later though. Right now, I have to focus on the bigger issue, being late for school. I break into a sprint as I try to make up for lost time, all the while hoping that I'll never run into those two again. Right, so I might as well end it here. We've done a lot. We were having a dream, and there was like evil eyes, And then we woke up, we went outside, walking around, surrounded by students, and then everyone disappeared, and a monster attacked us. That's called Shadow. And then we tried to fight it, it didn't work. Then the angels showed up, and they saved us. And then we just decided to believe them about everything they were saying. Right, so I think there are a lot of these choices here that seem to be just different dialogue choices, but there is at one point where it does branch off in two different directions, kind of, sort of, well, significantly actually, because they don't reconnect until quite far down the option tree. And then you also get the 3 separate endings right at the end, I think, because it says 3 names, but then it only has 1 line coming from one of the names to an end. But I don't know. We'll have to see. And so I might. I don't know. I might just play through this how I want. But then when it gets to the option which branches off considerably, I'll start recording from there again, and then I'll also show the 3 different endings. In which case I'll do like one ending for my first playthrough here, I'll do a second ending for the other one which branches off considerably, and I'll just show the 3rd ending off at the end. Damn, this game is a lot more confusing than the first one. So yeah, thank you for watching for the first episode of Sakura Angels. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you come back. So I will see you all, hopefully, again next time for some more Sakura Angels. See you when it's time. Goodbye.